I've been selling on Amazon for over 6 years now, and in that time I've done over 35 million in sales. The truth is, competition is higher than ever. Amazon has changed a lot of rules, and the things that worked like 2-3 years ago just don't cut it in today's day and age. So the big question is Amazon FBA still worth it going into 2026? In this video, I'm gonna give you an honest breakdown. What's changed, what no longer works, and what is still working in today's day and age if you actually wanna start and scale an Amazon FBA business this year. Let's jump into it. All right, so I love to start with the negative stuff first. Let's start with the cons, right? First thing we have to understand is that Amazon is more competitive than ever. You've probably heard it a bunch of times, and it is true. There's a ton of competition on Amazon. Now, the reality is, yeah, there are a lot more sellers coming into the marketplace, so that's just gonna be more sellers on listings, more sellers competing for the same exact spot in the buy box, more sellers competing for the same exact distributors, brands, all of these things. But is it all doom and gloom? Well, here's the thing, right? We expect there to be more sellers jumping on Amazon, and it's not a problem, right? Because check it out. All right, Amazon is growing year over year on an average rate of 11% per year. Now that might sound like a lot to you or a little to you, but this is a company that does over 1.6 to $2 billion per day. When you talk about 11% growth, that is a significant amount of more millions and millions of dollars going into the marketplace every day. So we expect there to be more sellers. That's A-okay with us. But here's the thing. This is the time where things split. It's no longer early 2020, 2015, 2014, where you could just throw stuff at the wall and make a ton of money. The separation is gonna be the experienced sellers versus the rookies. As that gap gets wider between what an experienced seller and a rookie is, where does the money follow? Does it go with the rookies or does it go with the experienced seller? I think we all know the answer to that. So yes, there's a lot more sellers coming into the marketplace, but there's a lot more money coming into the marketplace. The people that position themselves with the right know-how, the right systems are gonna make the brunt of the money. The ones that just come in and throw stuff at the wall, well, they'll be filling up space, but they'll be in and out in a few months. We see it all the time. Catch you later to those guys. The other thing we see is margins tightening up. You know, earlier this year, we had a lot of worry about tariffs in China. Everyone was tariffs, the tariffs, right? Y'all, you know how the news cycle goes. And lo and behold, what happened? People still sold on Amazon. What you'll see is that margins do tighten, right? You can't always just make these 100%, 200% ROI things. It just doesn't happen. What you have to realize is the goal for you is to get a bunch of base hits. Don't go for the home run, right? Stay away from home runs. Well, let me not say stay away from home runs, but don't rely on them, right? They don't last that long. Right? We always want to get for the most profitable product. One product going to change the day. And there are a lot of them out there. But when you continuously get base hits, eventually you swing for a home run, but you're still making money along the way. I see too many times people, they'll be like, oh my God, this product is only making me 20, 30% ROI. And I'm like, okay, what's the problem? They're like, I really want a 40 or 50% ROI. I really want that. When that comes along, when you keep doing the right things, you'll get those. But in the meantime, make the money. A 20 to 30% ROI in 4 to 6 weeks is still probably one of the best investment vehicles out there. Like, how many places can you go, drop $1,000 in there, come back in 4 to 6 weeks, and that 1,000 is now $1,200 or $1,300? Not that many places, right? So at the end of the day, while margins are tightening due to just more sellers coming in, you should still be able to maintain a 15 to 20% net margin in your business. That's after all things are said and done. Here's the thing, right? When you're doing exactly what we do and going directly to the brand, you have to understand how the supply chain works. There's a manufacturer, then there's a brand owner, then there's a distributor, then there's a retail store, then there's a customer, right? So the brand owner is right next to the manufacturer, right? They set the price in the market. So when you go to them, you pretty much get the cheapest price that you can get other than manufacturing the product yourself. So there's a lot of wiggle room as long as you know how to negotiate the right deals for you to increase profit margins, right? You can help them raise the price if they need to. You can help them kick off other sellers to make sure people aren't dropping the price under their minimum advertised price and their MAP pricing. You can do a lot of stuff to maintain your margins. Personally, for us, we have not seen a dip in our margins over the past 5 years because anytime we see slight dips, all we do is figure out things in our pipeline that we can optimize or negotiate with our brands and suppliers to actually increase our margins. If anything, our margins have actually gone up year over year. When we first started, we were taking a lot of smaller base hits. We were taking things like 10, 15% ROI. Now, if it doesn't bring us close to like a 20% net margin, we are not touching it at all. So the longer you stay in business, you tend to learn how to optimize things a little more. You tend to be able to negotiate better deals. So it's not that big of a deal, but I would say just be aware, because of the increased amount of sellers, you can see a little tightening of margins unless you are doing what we do and going brand direct. And at the end of the day, when you go brand direct, you're getting the best prices on the market. Now, this brings me to one of the issues that started up in 2024. It is brand restrictions. Prior to 2024, Amazon was in dire need of us resellers. It really started in COVID time, if you think about it, because everyone was buying stuff on Amazon. I know, we all know, their systems were getting pushed to the max with deliveries after deliveries. They had to optimize quick, and they needed resellers worse than ever because they needed us to keep products in stock. They needed us to actually give them the oil for that car to drive. That is Amazon. As Amazon grows as a marketplace, they no longer need that many resellers. They still need us. Resellers account for about 60% of all sales that happen on Amazon out of that $1.65 billion a day. But they don't need us the same. They don't need us at the same capacity, the same volume. So what they do is they want to cut out the regular mom and pop resellers. They want to get them out the market because at the end of the day, they pose a very big threat to the marketplace. Why? Because they can sell fake products. There's so many fake products on Amazon, historically speaking. They needed to crack down on it because as the marketplace grew, right, any customer that gets a fake product is going to lose trust in the brand, Amazon, and the seller, right? But who takes the greatest risk there? The brand and Amazon. That brand can literally turn around and maybe sue Amazon for letting fake versions of those products go out there and tarnishing their name. That customer can sue Amazon if it's something that causes damage to them. I've seen people and heard about it from brands, people selling fake supplements, right? Filling up capsules with fake white powder and sending it to a customer. That's such a huge risk. So the thing about it is when Amazon is no longer in a state of desperation, just needing sales and sellers, right? They're gonna crack down on the brand restrictions. Brands are gonna crack down on brand restrictions to make sure they don't have fake versions of their products being sold. And Amazon's gonna allow them. So the thing is, how do you circumvent this? How do you actually work around this? It's super simple. Work directly with brands. If a brand is giving you full authority to sell their product, guess what? Amazon knows that you're buying legitimate products. You don't have any red tape here. Even better, you're working directly with a brand. What happens? You get better pricing because they're higher up in the supply chain. Even better than that, this is the icing on the cake. When you work directly with brands, the whole pitch that we go into is we don't just want to be a regular reseller for that brand. We want to be something called a brand partner. We want to be the exclusive seller or one of their handful, maybe 1, 2, 3, depending on the size of the brand, handful of exclusive sellers. This puts us in a predicament where we have consistent, reliable income because we have the exact pricing we need, the exact price we're selling at, and we're building this relationship with a brand. So as their business grows, as they do the marketing in the retail stores on TikTok, YouTube, Google, whatever, and their business grows and their revenue goes up, what happens to us? Our profit goes up. Now, not our profit per sale, that might stay the exact same, but our overall profit goes up because that brand is now being able to sell more units per month because they're growing. Brand restrictions are a big deal for people who are still doing outdated things like retail arbitrage, flipping random here and there products from stores. But if you're working directly with brands, you're good to go, right? Just make sure you're doing that going into 2026. All right, now it brings me to where most people try to start their e-commerce journey and get beat up. It is private label. When you want to go out there and launch your own brand and say, hey, I created this cool product, why don't you come buy it from me? You have to understand the cost of marketing. Unless you are a master at short form content on TikTok or Instagram or long form content, you know how to drive eyeballs to your product. The reality is, how do most brands scale? It's paid advertising, right? You have to be able to draw eyeballs and so more people know about your brand. Now, you can be paying on platforms like Amazon, TikTok, Meta, whatever you want to do, or you can be paying influencers to pay for their audience. So if they go promote your product. But at the end of the day, it's going to cost some money. And the thing about it is when you do marketing on Amazon, it is arguably the least creative marketing platform next to Google. You are optimizing for keywords and all these things to make your product more searchable. And yeah, it works. Don't get me wrong. People make a ton of money on Amazon. But because it takes out a lot of the creativity in how people shop nowadays, it becomes very costly. What am I saying right here? Think about it. When you go on TikTok or Instagram and you go buy something, right? There's a lot of creativity. People could say things a different way. A white person could say it, a black person could say it, Asian person could say it. There's different avatars you could ping to. On Amazon, what is it? Like I might run an ad for the word detergent or the word toothpaste or something like that. That's a flat bid, right? That's a flat cost that I'm going against everyone else with in this auction system. So the thing about when you want to launch a private label brand, right? Especially going into 2025, 2026 is what is going up? Marketing costs. Ad costs across the platform are growing up. Like, so you need to position yourself in a way where you can keep as much capital in your pocket. When you go and launch your own private label brand, I would honestly stay away from Amazon. I would probably go to TikTok, a much newer marketplace, which is having a ton of incentives for people with low fees here and all these different things that really just keep it a more competitive marketplace now because they are in their infancy stage. When Amazon was in their infancy stage, they would cut down on their profitability to bring more brand owners to the platform to actually utilize them. Now they're not there, their costs are going to be super high, very similar to Instagram, all of these other platforms, YouTube, whatever's been around for a while. But TikTok is newer, so they incentivize brand owners to go there and market there, so you can take advantage of that. Other cool thing is if you're marketing on TikTok, there's something called a halo effect, right? Everyone still shops on Amazon, so when someone goes and buys your product on TikTok for the first time, where they're gonna look for the repeat purchases, probably your website or Amazon. So you get this halo effect where your marketing dollars spent there still generates you sales over there. I know that was a little more advanced, but hopefully everything makes sense. All I'm saying is if you're gonna do private label, understand that Amazon probably isn't the best platform to start your private label journey. Although your product should be there, when you talk about marketing and driving more eyeballs, I would look for something a little cheaper. In addition to that, if you are going to go launch your own brand and not resell other people's product, just understand you are going to take a while to start making any damn money. You got to get samples made, logo made, website made, order the full product run, and then do marketing. This all costs money. This is all happening before you generate a single dollar, and that single dollar that you generate is not even profit. It's just paying off this, right? For most people, starting off in private label is, not for most people, for everybody. If you're a brand newbie, this is the riskiest way to jump into the game. That's why we opted for reselling brand name products that people already buying. And not having to do the marketing, not have to draw eyeballs, just sell what people already want. Now, another con, and this is literally a con from every year, so I don't consider it that special, is fees are going up. Amazon is always changing their fee structure, raising stuff, making it harder, and everyone cries. I've been in the business for about 6 years. I hear it every damn year. Amazon's raising the fees. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna go broke. And who do you think pays for these fees? Like, do you think that the companies, like the business owners like me, or like the brand owners or the other resellers, do you think we're just willing to continuously sell something at a negative cost? Like, do you think we're just willing to keep losing money and just like, oh, man, Amazon, man, they got me again? Like, absolutely freaking not. What does everyone do? They raise the price on the consumer. The consumer eats it. When tariffs were going on, you think people stopped shopping on Amazon? No, they had to pay a little more money for their product, right? So at the end of the day, here's the deal, right? When there are changes to fees, is it a negative? Absolutely. Does it hurt us in the long run? Not really as a seller. Because what happens is while the market's still catching up, right? Let's just say you had a product, what do I have? I have my mouse, and it was selling at $50, right? And with the new fees, for us to make the same profit, we have to sell at $54, right? Here's the thing. Everyone doesn't move their price at the same speed, right? So what happens is you might still be selling at 50, catching a little bit of slack and losing some money, or you might take it out your catalog until it moves up to 54. But eventually everyone will catch up to that and move the price. A lot of the times the brand owners even make you move the price up to make sure that you're still profitable so you keep making money with them. But for that like month to 2 month gap where everyone's still catching up, where people have old inventory at the cheaper price and all of these things, just wait. It always goes back up. And this is not that big of a negative in the long run, but usually about a month or two out the year, you'll see some dips in profit margins. They pass relatively quickly and they don't affect all of your catalog at the same time. So hasn't moved the needle in any way for us. Since we've been selling, we've been able to stay at a 20% net margin no matter what was going on. So don't worry about this too much. Just understand that during that period, profit comes down a little bit, but it picks right back the hell up as soon as the fees get passed on to the consumer. All right, so the pros of this model, there are a lot, but one of my favorite ones is Amazon dominance. Now, what in the world am I talking about dominant? It is the biggest marketplace in the US. It is where everyone buys their stuff online. It literally accounts for, in 2024, it accounted for 38% of every sale that happened online took place on Amazon. That's a lot. That's not that far off from half of every sale that happens online happens on Amazon. Think about where we all shop, where we all spent the brunt of our dollars of shopping online, right? It's gonna be Amazon. They take up a chunk of the pie. So here's the thing. When you want to build a substantial business, you're talking about, I want to get to 6 figures. I want to get to 7 figures. Guess what? You got to follow the money. It's like someone saying to me, yeah, you know what? I want to have $5 to $8 million business. I'm like, cool. What do you want to do? Yeah, I'm going to open up a supermarket, one supermarket location. It will never work, right? Because the marketplace is too small. But when you go into a field that's huge, like Amazon, where it's billions and billions of dollars, well, it becomes very reasonable that you can make that kind of money. Speaking from experience, we hit our first $1 million month back in 2022, either July or August, whatever. July or August 2022. Let me tell you something about me. I didn't know a damn thing about business. No business experience. This was the first thing I took a real swing at. I had tried private label dropshipping, but not real swings at that. That was 2 years into the business of us making a ton of mistakes and still getting to 7 figures in a single month. I don't know if you know statistically speaking, but it is less than a 1% chance. It is about a point, I think 0.1 to 0.4% chance that a business ever hits $1 million a month, right? We did it in 2 years. Oh, is it because we're some geniuses or got lucky? No, dude. It's just the marketplace was so damn big that if you just follow a system, it is likely to happen. So one of my favorite things about this is I want to play ball in the biggest arena. If I can make it to the finals, I want to make it to the finals. I'm going to play where the money is because that makes my job a lot easier. I want to play where more money is going into because that makes my job a lot easier, right? When I have something in our business called replenishable products that people buy month after month, year after year, what happens to our income as people continuously buy this product month after month, year after year, but the marketplace is growing? I get to get a raise all the damn time. So this is the power of playing on Amazon. This is why it's very hard for me to go look at other platforms. Do Shopify have benefits? TikTok, of course they all do, but I'm gonna play where the big money is, especially when it comes to reselling, where people are getting their repeat purchases. That's Amazon. One of my favorite pros is wholesale. Similar to my last point, and the point right before that, when I was talking about private label, if I was a private label brand owner, I'm gonna go where the cheapest marketing cost is, right? Because I don't care if a company's doing like 2 billion a day, 3 billion a day. I have to go where my margins are gonna be the highest, and marketing is the most expensive thing for a brand owner. When it comes to wholesale, we don't have a marketing cost. Our job is just to get it at the cheapest amount, sell it at the highest amount, and sell the highest volume. Really that simple. Everything else in the middle is just noise to us, right? So that's what wholesale is. Wholesale is super powerful. When these marketplaces are growing like Amazon, these repeat customers are coming in, these new customers are coming in. By being in the wholesale model, we take full advantage of that. Now, the thing about wholesale, right, is you shouldn't be doing the old methods. You shouldn't be just buying from mom and pop stores. You shouldn't have unauthorized distributors selling you stuff. You shouldn't put yourself in unnecessary risk. When you're going brand direct, here's a big pro going into 2026. A lot of people are not doing it yet. So one of the best things that we're doing with our students and, us really, is we are literally cleaning house on as many brands as humanly possible. Even more brands than we know what to do anything with. Between our AI tool that we created that closed about 45 brand direct deals, and our head of brand outreach, she's closed 62 brand direct deals. We got 107 brand direct deals in the past 3 months. Let me tell you something. We are not utilizing all of them. Some of them we gave out to our students. Some of them we will continue to give out to our students. Some of them we will keep. Some of them will go back to the pond. But guess what? We get to pick because we went and took action on it. So the thing about it is wholesale is super stable, but going brand direct and locking in these brand deals and getting these exclusive deals, that's even more powerful than you can possibly imagine for the first movers. It's like a mini gold rush going on, right? This is what we hone in on our program. And by the way, if you want to find out anything more about what it looks like to work with us, right below you'll have 2 options. You can either just book a call with the team to kind of find out how we able to get some crazy results extremely quick. I want to be clear though, this is a program not just about finding the right product, it's about building the right business. You'll learn more about our Triple S framework, source, how to find the best products to sell, how to operate this business in just 8 hours a week, and then scale, how you can make more money by leveraging OPM and build a team around you to do majority of the work. So feel free to use that to book a call if you want, or we do completely free workshops where I go in depth for a few hours. You can hit the link below to sign up for our next free live workshop. Make sure you bring your iPad or your notebook though, not playing around. All right, anyway, let's go. This is a very interesting point, right, that I didn't think about when I first started because I was just money, but I wasn't really thinking. Supplier relationships and how they compound. What does that mean? Okay, so here's the thing, right? If you have a good authorized distributor, a good relationship with them, this is so cool. You can literally go to them and let them introduce you to brands. They have access to all of these brands, right? Then there's you. So there's 2 ways to go about it. Either we go like this and we go directly to the brands and they don't know us, we're a smaller seller. Not much of an uphill battle if you know what to say, but it's obviously more difficult than going to a distributor. But if you have a good relationship with an authorized distributor, guess what? we can go to them and be like, hey, look, can you get this brand to work with me? They'll go do their job and get it done. So one thing that we leverage heavily is all of the distributors that we've built solid relationships with, we take extra care of them, right? Like during this time of year, it's Q4 right now, we're sending out gift cards, we're asking them about their family, we're doing all the soft skills, right? To make sure the relationship is as healthy as possible. And what happens, time and time again it happens, they'll negotiate deals for us, right? Like we just got 4% off of an entire catalog. 50,000 SKU catalog is gonna take us forever to go through. We had another one give us a deal that he gave nobody else. It was 50% off this whole brand for the next like 6 or 7 months. Why did we get that? Because we work on the soft skills. Supplier relationships are so powerful when you have the right people and you are talking to them the right way. They will go and do a lot of the work for you. One thing that we do with all our suppliers is we create something called a mock PO. Instead of just asking them what they have and creating an order, we would literally tell them what we want, the price we need it at, and how many units we can buy. Why? This flips the script. This allows us to see that we mean business, and then they go and do the work to go make that pricing and quantity happen for us. They'll go directly to the brand, negotiate on our behalf, all of these things. So suppliers relationships, having a solid group of them, they compound. Every new brand they get access to, you get access to. Every new deal that they get a little closer to, you get closer to. Every time you treat them well, they'll treat you even better. These relationships are so damn important. Treat them like gold. You do not need hundreds of suppliers. You need like a core 4 to 5. That's it. That's how we got to $1 million a month. And realistically, it was like 3 of them that carried us over there. The other 2 were just like taking them like 10%, 15% of the revenue. So one of my favorite things is that wholesale is a much lower risk than private label, as you probably already know from what I was talking about. But here's the thing. We're not spending a single dollar on ads. We're buying things at the price we need it at, in the quantity we need it at. We know exactly what price we need to sell it at. So there's no guesswork here. Think to the T, within about 5% variance, we know exactly how much profit we're making each and every month, right? There's no guesswork. There's no unnecessary cost. There's no real risk factor. When we're working directly with these brands, we're good. We literally have brands that we've been working with since 2020, and we literally put contracts in place where as long as we can hit a certain revenue goal, they will have to renew that contract for us year after year after year after year. There's a brand we've been selling since 2020. It literally just makes us $20K a month profit. They renew the contract every year. It is so easy. All we have to do is put in an order every single month, right? It's kind of crazy. It's that simple when you really break it down, but this is a reseller market. It's been around for damn ever. It is very low risk. It is probably the easiest way for someone that's brand new that wants to build an e-commerce business, but doesn't have the patience or the risk tolerance or the cash to wait 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months to start making some profit, right? This is how we jump in the game. So something that's super cool that's going on right now, which is a huge pro, is AI. But there's a lot of, as you look, like if you go on Google Trends, you'll see AI, like the graph is going like this, whoop, 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 right? More and more people are looking into AI. But why? Because a lot of them are afraid. A lot of people are losing their damn job over AI. Like I know Amazon themselves, according to their staff, it will let it go like 30,000 people. I just spoke to my friend this morning. He said 15 people from his department will let go. I spoke to someone in our program and they said they let go of 45 people. AI just replacing jobs. Let's be real here. Like it does make sense as a business owner. But here's the thing, right? AI is not going to replace anything like a toothbrush, a toothpaste, a shampoo, a soda, whatever the hell you buy on Amazon. It won't replace e-commerce products, but we need to understand how we can leverage AI to actually make the job easier. So what I love to do is we'll use things like ChatGPT, Manus, Claude. I can name all the damn AI tools we use, but we use it to do a lot of deep research for us. It can pull supply information for us. It can pull the decision-making emails, phone numbers, all of these things, find us the website. All these things that used to take hours can now get shrunk down to minutes automatically. On top of that, we use tools like we built an in-house AI system that can do all of the automated outreach. I mentioned it earlier. We had to compete against our rep who does the outreach for us. She was able to close 62 deals. The tool was able to do 45. Now, you might say 62 is more than 45, but guess what? There was no manpower there. There was no cost to that, right? We got to pay her every hour, which is cool. We're not letting her go or anything. She's really good. But I'm just saying, like, it just shows the power of AI, and it's still in its infancy. So one of my favorite things about this business is it's only getting easier for the people that actually know how to operate it properly. And of course, even better than that, a lot of the prep centers, like instead of you trying to prep your own inventory or getting a warehouse like we mistakenly did, it was one of the dumbest things, you can obviously use prep centers. Now, prep centers are not a new thing. They've been around for a while, but they're getting more and more efficient, right? They're getting cheaper. Back then, we used to sometimes pay 80, 90 cents for a unit to be prepped. I'm seeing prep centers charge like 30, 40 cents, 20 cents for a unit. So what does that do to your profit margin? Well, all that extra gap in that prep cost is going to you. So as there become more efficiencies in the e-commerce space, we get to benefit on it, but it is a first mover's advantage. If you want to wait like another year, 2 years to kind of dive into this, I don't understand. If you want to make money, make the damn money now. And one of the last things is Amazon rewards consistency. Who makes the most money? The people that show up every damn day. The people that keep inventory in stock, keep their Amazon account healthy. People that just keep going at it. The thing about it is the longer you sell on Amazon, the more they like you, right? The more money you sell on Amazon, the more they like you. The more products you sell, the more they like you. So what do you want to do? Sell more products. You'll get more ratings, higher reviews. You'll get more time in the buy box. You will get more funding options from them. They will try to put you in new programs that they release. They will treat you very, very well the longer you sell. I remember when we got our account shut down. It was a scary week. We were doing about 1.2 to 1.3 mil a month at that time. A week was a pretty penny. It was about $300,000 to $350,000 in lost revenue and like 70K in lost profit, something like that. It was pretty damn scary. And we still had overhead costs at that time. It was my fault. I was sourcing products from Korea. Quick tip, don't buy any products from outside the US. Make sure you're buying them in the US so Amazon can approve them. I got the account shut down. I was scared as hell. I was calling lawyers. I was doing all these things. We were able to reach out to the CEO at that time. His name was not Jeff Bezos, it was someone else. Reach out to them and actually get the account reopened without having to lawyer up or anything and without having to sue the damn balls off that brand that shut us down. This is the power of selling for a while. You think if I was a new seller, they would respond to me like that? Probably not. The longer you sell on Amazon, the better they treat you. The more you sell on Amazon, the consistency rewards itself. The more you put money into your distributors' pockets, the brand's pocket, the better they're gonna treat you. So always think on a longer spectrum. Like, yeah, everyone wants to get their first 10K month in 2 months, 10K month in 3 months. Like, yeah, it sounds good, 100K, whatever. But the longer you stay in this game, the more depth you build. This is when the business becomes fun. This is when you get to a point like right now, like I barely look at anything. I just look at high level numbers. Someone will ask me like, what's the best for this? I'm like, I don't know. Talk to my team because they do the work. At the end of the day, my job is to run the business, put the right people in the right seats, compensate them well, motivate them, give them the right systems, give them the right infrastructure, and have them be the best at the job. So consistency pays the hell off. So this is your 2026 Success Playbook. Yes, there's a lot of things that have changed in Amazon for the worse for some people, but all of the pros, they completely outweigh them. This is still my favorite business out of every damn business I'm involved in. Here's what you want to focus on. 1, as you go into 2026, focus on fewer relationships. If you have like 3 to 4 distributors or brands that you're working very well with, don't just start looking for more and more. Make sure you're juicing as much as you can out of those relationships and those businesses as much as possible. Are there more products you can get from them? Are there more brands that these distributors can get from you? Have you done everything to maximize the sales for this brand to drive more revenue? It is always easier to build on a relationship you already have than to start a brand new one. So fewer relationships, just make them stronger. It is so key. Doesn't take that many to win in this game and hit 6 and 7 figure months. Number 2 is always be willing to negotiate. A lot of people, when someone sends them the price, they're like, oh, that price doesn't work. They don't even know how to negotiate. They don't even try to negotiate. They don't understand. Always try to negotiate, but don't do it in a way where you are trying to make someone else feel pain. If you need 5 to 10% off of something, maybe ask for 15 so it gives you some wiggle room. But don't go asking for 50 when you know that person might lose money, right? It's gonna rub them the wrong way. Another key about negotiation is only negotiate when you need to. Right? It's like the boy who cried wolf. If every single time someone talks to you, you're asking for a deal, a discount, a this, a that, they will stop believing that you actually need any of these things. It is so key. I need to negotiate when I need to. When I don't need to negotiate, I will make sure that that person is still making money because guess what? When they're happy, guess what? They're going to make sure I'm happy. It is a two-way street on these. But don't be afraid to negotiate if you need to. Number 3 is definitely going to be automation. Automate as much in this process as humanly freaking possible. We have so many damn tools at our disposal. Use AI for deep research. There aren't a lot of AI tools for product research yet, but you can train one, like we're training one right now, to do it. We've literally trained an AI bot to do all of the outreach. We've trained one on every single thing that we've put on YouTube in our curriculum, everything. And what it does is it takes a lot of pressure off of us. When we hire new staff, that staff member can just talk to the bot instead of talking to me all day. But always come from a perspective of, can I automate this and does it free up more time? If you take that perspective with all the technology we have going on right now, this business becomes exponential exponentially easier. Automate, automate, automate. Now, make sure you are using virtual assistants and prep centers. Here's the thing where a lot of people screw this up. They either A, do what we did and they start prepping products themselves thinking they're gonna save money, and they become a warehouse worker and they start getting pallet jack, bubble wrap, boxes, pallets, right? Print, label printers, all of these things under the sun. And guess what? You're spending so much time over here on the warehouse stuff or prepping that you're not spending time where the money is, which is finding more profitable products. Outsource the freaking prep for cents on the dollar. If you can get one at 35 cents, 40 cents, trust me, you will save a lot more money and time doing something that actually makes you more money, which is finding more profitable products. Next thing is you want to use virtual assistants, right? Now, you can hire in the US. I know a lot of people that hire in the US. Is no problem with that. But here's how I always frame it. It's like, if I can go to, like, this business isn't hard. It's pretty simple, right? And as long as you have the right system, somebody can follow it. But if I can go to a country like the Philippines or something, I can get somebody hired for $2, $3, even up to maybe at most $5 an hour. Well, that's like 3 people in New York. Can these 3 people, even though they're virtual, do more than one person in New York? Yes. Does that money matter more to them? So when I give them a $50, $100, $200 bonus, does that matter a lot more? Yes. I was thinking about the point of how do I keep my profit margins as high as possible? Virtual assistants allow us to do that. And the best part about that is there's a lot of virtual assistants with Amazon experience. So it makes it way easier for them to jump into business because they already know what to do. Don't make yourself the bottleneck doing all of the work, prepping products, finding products, doing everything. Always take the stance of, can I make more money while working less hours? And when you combine the point right before this of automation with virtual assistants and prep centers, you are well on your way to becoming an actual business owner and getting to go run off to Dubai and go hang out for 3 months and still make more money. And the last thing is going to be focus on brand direct relationships. Not a lot of people are talking about this enough, and that's why I'm honing in on it so much. Long gone, or pretty close to it, are the days of the mom and pop seller just flipping shit out of eBay, out of the garage, or whatever the hell they're doing, and think like it's going away. Amazon wants authorized real products on their site. They want you to be working with the brand. They want to be able to trust you the same way that you trust them to use their platform, right? How does that happen? Brand direct relationships. This is a first mover's advantage. Before everyone else catches up, if you're serious, go out there, start talking to brands, dealing with them, closing deals with them, looking to become the exclusive seller. This is what's gonna set you apart from everyone else. Last thing I'm gonna say about this is the smaller the brand, the better. Don't be one of those people that starts hitting up like brands that do $18 million a month and like, can I buy products from you? And then you're like, why the hell did they say no to me? Like, you don't have the rapport to go to them yet. If you go to a brand doing $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 a month, they might be willing to go do some business with you, right? Because they trust you, right? They trust you. You're smaller. They're smaller. They need it. So smaller the better. Please freaking remember that. So that's an honest breakdown. Yeah, Amazon FBA has changed a tremendous amount, but I still think it is hands down the best business model to be in because it has the lowest risk with some of the highest profit potentials. The sellers who are out here struggling going into 2026 are the ones doing these outdated, super outdated methods that used to work back in 2021, 2022 or before. They're doing things like gambling with private label, running tunnel ads, doing retail arbitrage, flipping products from stores, and really just looking for these quick flips. The ones who are really winning are treating it like a business, real supplier relationships, building these brand exclusive deals, running operations tight and lean to maximize profitability. Those are the ones changing the game and really taking full advantage of this platform. They're buying proven products and using real systems to scale their business. Look, if you want to skip all the trial and error and learn the exact wholesale system that we use to do over 35 million in sales, the playbook A to Z, what you want to do is hit the link below, sign up for our next completely free live workshop, show up and bring a notebook because it's going to be a ton of information. Trust me, every time we do this, people leave like, damn, my head hurts, but I know I could go make some money. But if you want to, hit the link below to sign up and just come prepared. And if you found this video helpful, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We literally put these out every damn week, showing you the good, the bad, the ugly, every single thing that we know has worked and what isn't any longer working and what's gonna be working in the Amazon FBA wholesale space. So I hope this helped. See you in the next one.